Ariel Helwani in New York City, getting set for Saturday night's Strikeforce event in New Jersey, alongside Valentijn Overeem, who faces Ray Sefo this Saturday night. And Valentijn, you're about to make your Strikeforce debut. A little bit delayed. You got injured. First off, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's correct that I got injured. It's an old injury that, started playing up, but I took good care of it. And because it's my entry in Strikeforce, I wanted to make sure it's a great entry. I don't want to disappoint the fans. They've been waiting for long, and they've always been very supportful. So, I want to make it worthwhile.
What exactly happened to you?
Oh, it's a long story. I went into a throw and fell wrong, and one of those things that just happens.
You're involved in this Grand Prix as a reserve bout. So if you win, someone gets injured, you could sneak in there. A lot of people are wondering, what happens if your brother Alistair wins a fight and then his opponent gets injured and they call upon you? Would you fight him?
Well, first of all, I have to take care of Sefo, but I've talked about it with my brother, and we've got some things set up well, and we're good friends, and we always talk about our game plan towards each other's fight, or if we both have to fight. So it'll be. But I'm going to keep it interesting, though. You
would consider it.
Yeah, of course.
Now, okay, let's talk about Sefo. I mean, this is a guy who obviously, as you know, a very accomplished career in the striking game, K1, all that, but not so much in MMA. He's kind of a rookie in MMA. What do you think of him as a mixed martial artist?
Well, like you've seen in the K1 fights, he's a powerful guy. Then again, there's a lot of techniques, that go with MMA. So I hope he gets his ground game up, and because obviously it's very important. And it's going to change his standing up as well. But I don't know. We'll just have to see. I'm depending on my own strength to win this fight, and I'm feeling great. So,
would you like to take the fight to the ground though at some point?
Wow.
Test his ground skills.
Like my brother won K1. We train often. We have a good group of Golden Glory fighters in Holland. A lot of fighters fight in the K1. So I think my standing up skills are capable enough. Then again, if we get into a clinch and we go to the ground, it's fine with me too. So, whatever.
This is a very good opportunity for you because it's a very big card, much publicized because Fyodor is fighting on it, and you're getting a chance to really introduce yourself to a whole new audience here in America. Do you feel as though this is kind of maybe phase 2 or phase 3 of your career where you can start fresh and really show the American fans what you're all about?
Well, absolutely. I'm taking it very serious. Like I said, I wanted to make sure that I'm in good shape, so that's what I am now. And I want to see. We'll show the people that we're doing our homework back home, and Dallas isn't the only one. I'm very proud of him though, but that it's running in the family. So.
Does a part of you sort of want to step out of his shadow to say, hey, over here I'm doing some good things too?
No, I don't think you can talk about shadow or this or that. I started out when I was young. I took my brother with me, and I thought it was good for him to learn stuff to defend himself and not to get into trouble on the street. And in the beginning, I was very successful, and shadow he might have been in mine. But we've always worked out together and had a lot of fun, and now it's his time of glory, and he's worked hard for it. He's learned from my mistakes and taken it to an even higher level. So we like motivate each other, and that's a great force.
A lot of MMA pundits and fans consider Cain Velasquez to be the top heavyweight in the world right now. Does the winner of this fight now have a claim at that title as well? Can he stake a claim at that title and say that I am the best in the world?
Well, the thing is, my brother has a dream heavyweight title that he just won in 31st of December. He won the K1. He's defended his Strikeforce belt that he won 2 years ago. So he's got 3 titles to put over Cain Velasquez's 1 title. I'm not underestimating Cain though, because he's he's grown to be a very good fighter. But they're just gonna have to face it off. But I give my brother a bigger chance.
In terms of Strikeforce in general, what do you think of the things that they've been doing in the last couple of years?
I think it's amazing, like having to compete with UFC and UFC having such big events and such good sponsors and good fighters, and then being able to make something that's almost as big in such a short time with equal quality fighters. I think it's amazing. So, and I think it's thanks to the fans.
It's a Great turnout here. You know, in New York City, a place where the sport isn't legalized, see this many fans, that's very big for the sport. Final question, I just want to get your prediction. Who do you think is going to make it to the finals of the Grand Prix, and who's going to win? And try to surprise us, maybe.
Well, the thing is, in the tournament, you always have to, deal with like guys getting injured, and so it's really hard, especially with so many good fighters. I think it's top of the world. Obviously, I would hope my brother. I don't know. I hope my brother, and it's too difficult, man. I wouldn't want to put money on any one of them. It's just like who trains the hardest, who works the hardest, who wants the most, and a little bit of luck.
And I said final question. I have one more for you, if you don't mind. There has been a long, this drama between your brother and Fyodor and M1, and they've wanted to fight for a long time. It's never happened. Your brother says that M1 is getting in the way. Fyodor sort of says, I'm standing back. Yesterday I had him on my show, and he gave a lot of props to your brother, but questioned how he gained so much weight in such a short amount of time. And he didn't want to insinuate anything, but they have said a lot of things in the past about drug testing and whatnot. Do you feel as though he gives enough respect to your brother and what he's done?
I think we've known Fedor from way back in rings in Japan, so there's a lot of mutual respect back and forth from me to Fedor, from Fedor to Alice, and back and forth, And I think not only Fedor puts the question, there's a lot of questions, but Alice always had to fight like light heavyweight, so he had to lose a lot of weight. And because he was pretty young, eventually he couldn't lose the weight anymore, He's like struggling, days in a sauna and fighting and feeling totally exhausted. So when he went to heavyweight, he eventually could go just eat, because he was like dieting all year, And he couldn't keep up with it anymore. So he would like go on holiday, weigh like 103, 104 kilos, and then come back and start training, and then have to lose like 10 kilos, almost impossible. So when he made the decision to go to heavyweight, he could start eating normal again, and then because his body's been starved for so long, that's when he just got bigger.
So it's what he says about the questioning it. Just say, look at the facts, right? That he's gone big over time. He had to get bigger, sort of the evolution of his body, you're saying?
It is, because look, most guys get to the max weight when they're like 30, and like I said, Alice had to stay this weight to 93 kilos for so long. And in the beginning, it wasn't a problem, But eventually, his body wanted to get heavier and heavier and heavier. And even if you look at me, I'm like normally 112, 114, Now I'm a little bit down because I like to drop a little bit before a fight. But dropping like 4 or 5 kilos, that's not a bad thing. But if you have to lose 10 or even more kilos, that's a problem, And he just couldn't cope with it anymore. So then he said, I'm going to make the step to heavyweight, and we'll see what happens.
All right, well, thank you so much for the time. Good luck on Saturday night against Sefo.
Okay, thanks, Mike.